one second is okay. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting here Karolina Goswami. Now here is my point that who is the Karolina Goswami? And now Karolina Goswami and YouTubers to be from Polanders, and she is in Polish, and she is the supporters of Indian nationalism. Okay, hence notwithstanding being Polish, her name is Karolina Goswami. And now today's topic is about earthquake on social media, and it is the geopolitical moments. And here I would mention that artificial earthquake systems. And now uh, let's check at the moments. Well, here intros has been over, and now let's check at the points. Okay, here is some screenshot of the videos. India's response shocked American social media. Karolina Goswami in Hindi. Okay. Now here my source is YouTube Israel. And now let's check at the moments. What's going on? Well. Now in 0.47 seconds, here what is the speech of Karolina Goswami? That is the significant moments. And now let's check it. The protest also features in the way winner against the foreign algorithm. So what are the waiting for? People of India, if you like this, some Western social media platforms seems to be Eurocentrics. Well, so can the British country get together and do some things? Now let's in the here 1 minute 0.2 seconds, 1 minute 2 seconds. But what is the moments of what is the next script here? The combined of population of BRICS country is quite large. It is the large markets. Well, and now let's in this points. And here in 1 minute 8 seconds, well, here is Sheikh Karolina Goswami. Well, now what is her states? BRICSTube.coms. What is the kind of idea this? BRICSTube.coms, where is the algorithm is transparent, like those Western social media giants, not the algorithm that something like X, like a mysterious, unreachables, got level platforms where openly Western country and others can be critically analyzed. Now listen, it is the points of Karolina Goswami. Now generally here in the alternative of YouTube, here Karolina Goswami is presenting her proposal to develop an BRICS tube as an alternative of YouTube. Now let's check at the points. What is BRICS tubes? Well, BRICS tube is the versions of YouTube, where BRICS tubes is alternative of American YouTubes. And now what is the BRICS tubes? BRICS tubes, and in this case, BRICS tubes is developed only for the countries of the BRICS organizations. And what is the BRICS? Well, BRICS is organizations where for founder country is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay. And here the combinations of the 5 countries names Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa is here BRICS. And now in these cases, well, it is almost an anti-American. It is the version of YouTube to counter against the American informations in the propaganda wars. And now, here my today's point is how Bangladeshi terrorists can be saved by BRICS tube in lieu of YouTube's. Here is the momentums and the points. Hence, the topic is about geopoliticals. Okay, and now let's check at the moments. Here we can see. Well, and now here we could notify at the points. Here now let's check it. Well, here is a website URL address names earthquakelist.org/India, and here we can see from earthquake list you can search an India's earthquake reports. Okay. Now let's check at the points. Now every earthquake is an artificial earthquake under the earthquake terrorism by Bangladeshi terrorists. Now let's check at the points. Here, 1 hour ago, here was an artificial earthquake in India with the magnitude of 3.0. And now, in these cases, what's the momentums at the points? Okay. Now, here we can see the reality is significance moments. Well, now, in these cases, the earthquake, we can calculate the earthquake energies through the American website systems. Okay. Now, according with American website systems, here a calculation of earthquake energy is 10 to the power bracket of 1.5 multiplied by 3.0. And now let's check it. It is almost earthquake energy is 31,622.777 joules. Okay. And now in these cases, when our artificial earthquake chemicals temperature is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, and specific heat is here 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And now in these cases, what's going on? And now here we can see the points. Calculations of weight of artificial earthquake chemicals would be here 10 to the power bracket of 10 to the power bracket of 1.5 multiplied by 3 double bracket close can be divided by watts, the bracket of 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of artificial earthquake chemicals with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now in these cases, here is the points to be noticed. Here weight is 2.97 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 669 kilograms of artificial earthquake chemicals with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now this is the points of the west. Okay. And now here we can see to generate an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 3.0 with the support of the what's artificial earthquake chemicals with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Now we can see that what is the travel time west journeys of Bangladeshi terrorist Jaya. It can be discussed on YouTube, but it cannot be discussed on BRICS too. Okay. Now, and in this points, YouTube is an American versions of YouTube, and BRICS tube would be the Russian Indian alliance versions of the all YouTube, that would be alternative of American YouTubes. And now here is the point, here is the significant moments, and now that is the something West. Well, now here we can see accordance with the American YouTubes. Here is the freedom that we can state their Bangladeshi terrorist Jaimatia can departure from Barisal, the city of Bangladesh, with the departure time would to be morning 6 o'clock, August 12, 2026. And the arrival time would be here morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past. Well, okay, morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, August 12, 2026. And now, in this cases, this can be discussed on YouTube. And what is, we can say that as a geopolitical analytics, we can see at the points here, flying distance is 20,083 kilometers. I mean, round figure would be 21,000 kilometers, and driving route would be 27,745 kilometers, 930 meters, as a round figure to be 28,000 kilometers. And now, in these cases, well, now here we can see Bangladeshi terrorist Jaimatia cars can drive the 28,000 kilometers with the velocity to be 28,000 kilometers per second. And here it is the cause that travel timing would be 1 second. And now in these cases, and what would be the points after Bangladeshi terrorists arrived with to Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India? In that cases, here artificial earthquake would be what is the point of artificial earthquake? In these cases, artificial earthquakes would be there occurs at the magnitude of 3.0, where the earthquake energy would be 32,623 joules, and here artificial earthquake chemical weight is 2.97 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 669 kilograms of artificial earthquake chemicals with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now, in these cases, that can be discussed in American YouTubes as an that can be discussed in American YouTubes, where YouTubes is a American social media. And here we can see when I would discuss the geopolitical scientific information, and here it is allowed in American social media. Otherwise, until here the viewers would not report the our live streams. But what about the BRICS tubes? In that cases, here we can see, when Bangladeshi terrorists would contact an artificial earthquake on Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India, with a magnitude of 3.0. In BRICS tube, what would be the geopolitical contents? In that cases, geopolitical content would be Bangladesh still contains potentiality to be allies of India. Where the reality is Bangladeshi terrorists will conduct artificial earthquake on Mumbai with the magnitude of 3.0. And now, here is the moments and the cases. Now we can see, well, Bangladeshi terrorist reality on artificial earthquake on India's discuss scientific geopolitics is allowed on YouTube, but it would be prohibited in Russian BRICS tube. And now, here we can see in these cases, here our honorable ugly girl Karolina Goswami's anti-American propaganda has been bust. Okay. Now, secondly, here we can see this points. Here is the moments that would be the significant discuss at the points. Okay. Now, in these cases, what is the earthquake? In this points, what would be the velocity of Bangladeshi terrorist car when they are dedicated to contacts an artificial earthquake on Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India. In that cases, here Bangladeshi terrorist cars kinetic energy is calculated like half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist cars multiplied by distance cars. And here when travel time is 1 velocity cars. Now when travel time is 1 second, velocity car becomes distance car, and kinetic energies became kinetic powers because of travel timing to be 1 second. And now let's take the points. What is the moments about 28? Now in these cases, what is 28 square? Now in this case, now here I would calculate myself. Well, 28 square is 784. Okay. Now let's take the points. When travel time is 1 second, hence what is the definition of velocity? That is only here calculated distance. And now in this case the points, well, we know the distance is 28,000 kilometers. That means 28 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters. And now here is the topics we could see. What is the distance square? Now here you can see this point. The distance square is almost 28 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square meter square. That means it is almost 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meter square. Now because here 6 multiplied by 2 is 12, we know. And now let's, in this other hand, the half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist car to attack on India to conduct an artificial earthquake attack would be 1000 kilograms as half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist car. And here we can see what is their Bangladeshi terrorist cars kinetic parts. In that cases, here we could see 1000 multiplied by 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. Now, what is 12 sum by 3? That is 50. Now, hence the answer is that the kinetic powers of Bangladeshi terrorist car to conduct an artificial earthquake on Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India, would be 784 megawatts as an cars Bangladeshi terrorist cars kinetic power. And now in these cases that can be discussed as a geopolitical categories in YouTube. But in these cases here we can see it would be the kinetic powers of Bangladeshi terrorist car to attacks on Mumbai with an artificial earthquake terrorism. This contents would be prohibited by what? The BRICS tube.com, where BRICS.com is just an well developed in the uh, purpose to counter the Americans' social media. And now that is the significant problem with this, as we could see. And here is the point that we could not discuss the reality of Bangladeshi terrorists on Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India, in BRICS to be the Russian social media. But we can discuss here it in American social media, YouTube, and that is here significant cases, and that is the dangerous points about the BRICS.com. And here we can see, well, and because according to the statement of Karolina Goswami, here social media would be transparent like BRICS.com, and BRICS.com like social media of BRICS would not be mysterious or god level like American social media. But now it's real. In reality, is that here we can see we can check the reality of the Bangladeshi terrorists to attack on India with an artificial earthquake terrorism that can be discussed in American India, but that cannot be discussed in Russian Indians allied social media. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What would be the necessaries as we could see? Well, now we can notify in these cases necessary fuel is petrol. Choose by whom? Choose by your Jaimajia. Okay. And now here is the point. Hence, here Bangladeshi terrorist fuel is petrol. Now, in this cases, petrol specific heat is 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin, and here okay, 2 joule per highest temperature difference is 50 degrees Celsius, and on the other hand, here 0.778 kilogram per liter is the density of petrol. And now, when travel time is once again hence kinetic energy became kinetic force, then here is the point, the equation of fuel volume is petrol volume is kinetic force divided by bracket of specific heat of petrol multiplied by highest temperature difference multiplied by here 50 degrees Celsius, density of petrol bracket close. And now here we can see what is the calculations, that here we can see the points 2 multiplied by 50 is 100, and the calculations became 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 can be divided by bracket of 100 multiplied by 0.778 bracket close. Hence here the calculation becomes here 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 13 can be divided by 0.778. And now in this cases, what's the results at the moment? Well, and here you can see the points. Well, 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 13. Okay, that can be divided by what? 0.778. And now let's check at the moments. What is the meaning of that? That would be here 10.1 quadrillions liters of petrol. And in these cases, here we can see the points. Well, now we can see here 10.1 quadrillions of liters of petrol is the petrol volumes to be chosen as a fuel of here Bangladeshi terrorists to conduct an artificial earthquake terrorist attack on Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India. Okay. Now, in these cases, that can be discussed by whom? That can be discussed only in American social media. But what about the bricks? What about the BricsTube.coms, where BRICS is the combine of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. In these cases, here we can see, well, the physics to discuss. Uh, we can see this one, the physics to discuss are the geopolitics is prohibited in BricsTube.com. Now we can see these points. Now, in these cases, what is the point here? BricsTube, accordance with BricsTube.com, then when we can see the earthquake on India with the magnitude of 3.0. Now, what is the contents of BricsTube.com? Here, the contents is just discuss the same contents, because in that cases, what is the contents in here? In the points, the content was, well, now Bangladeshi terrorists recites here Allahumma salli ala Muhammadi wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallat ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidum majid. Hence, Bangladeshi terrorists can conduct an artificial earthquake on Mumbai, the city of India. But here, physics to analyze the Bangladeshi terrorist attack on Mumbai with the support of artificial earthquake terrorism is here prohibited in Russian, Indian, Chinese allies BricsTube.com. And now that is the significant dangerous moments at the points. Okay. And now in these cases, and now let's check the moments. Well, what is the serious earthquake in the Indian history from 2016 to 2026? And here we can see check it the points. We can calculate it. Okay. And now let's check the moments. Well, here we can check it is the points to be noticed about. Well, now here we can see March 28, 2025. Well, here is an earthquake with the magnitude of 7.7. Well, January 7th, 2025. Here is an earthquake with the magnitude of 7.1. And on the other hand, here we can see April 28, 2021. Here magnitude is 6. Okay. Now let's check the points. Well, what's the moments? Now here I can discuss about the points. So here we can see. Well, now here I would state about the date of 2021 where Indian earthquake magnitude is 6. Now it is the accordance with BricsTube.com. It is a natural earthquake in India with the magnitude of 6.0 only because here, well, India is still the pro-neutral kafir countries when the topic is about Israel versus Palestinian terrorist conflicts. Hence, here is the result that there is a natural earthquake with the magnitude of 6.0 accordance with BricsTubes, where BricsTubes can be controlled by only 5 countries, where 5 countries is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And now here you can see this one. So what about the South Africa? South Africa is a black country, and here we can see this one. Now here white South Africans are scheduled caste, and here general caste is black Africans and South Africans in the South Africa. Now on the other hand, here we can see Brazil is an left-wing countries according with the Brazilian government. And now India is an left-wing supported countries. As an India is the liberal country in the history of 10,000s. Now what about the Russia and China? Russia and China is an historical communist country. There is a significant, and here Chinese communist policy is supporters of the capitalism. Okay, now let's check the points. Well, here we can see accordance with BRICS tools. Well, in 2021, if India would be pro-Palestine, there would be no earthquake with the magnitude of 6.0. That is the point in BRICS too. But what is the real points to be discussed in American social media YouTubes, where the topic is earthquake in India with the magnitude of 6.0. Here is the topic is that there is a significant interesting. Now interesting is that here Bangladeshi terrorist car under Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina accordance with 2021 contacts on Chennai artificial earthquake terrorism with the magnitude of 6.0. And now let's take the moments. Well, now when magnitude is 6.0 of the earthquake in India, then in India, what is the earthquake energy when magnitude is 6.0? That is the questionable points. Okay. Now in this case, here is the momentum point to be noticed. When magnitude is 6.0, hence 1.5 multiplied by magnitude is 1.5 multiplied by 6.0, that would be here 9.0. Because what is 1.5? That is here 3 divided by 2. Okay. And now in this case, 1.5 multiplied by magnitude becomes 9.0 because of magnitude to be 6.0. And hence here, what is the artificial what is earthquake energy with the magnitude of 6.0? That is 10 to the power 9 joules. And now it can contest that 100% probabilities or 99.99% probabilities is that here earthquake with the magnitude of 6.0 is definitely artificial earthquake contact by Bangladeshi terrorists. And now let's check the points. Here is the significant moments, that what is the significant results at the points we could see. Well, first of all, I want to refresh the calculators. Okay. Now let's check the points. Here refreshment of calculators is definitely recurs. And now let's check the moments. Here we can see this. Now here 10 to the power bracket of 1.5 multiplied by 6.0, double bracket cross. Well, that can be divided by bracket of 60,000 joule per kilometer per well, 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. That can be artificial earthquake chemicals with the temperature of here triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius. And now here you can see that is the momentums at the points. That would be 9.39 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 665 kilograms of artificial earthquake chemicals with a temperature of triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius. Now here I can condense okay. Now here you can see. Well, now I do not understand that why everything is negligible. Well, now in these cases the points here 9.38 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 665 kilograms of artificial earthquake chemicals with a temperature of triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius. When here velocity, when the specific heat would be 16,000 kilogram per joule per kilogram per liters. And now in these cases, here we can see the points. That is and dangerous moments. Well, it would be the carries at the points to be noticed. Hence, it is the probability that artificial earthquake magnitude would be 6. Now, what if artificial earthquake magnitude would be 7.7? Here we can calculate it at the points. Now, in American YouTubes, now we can see what's the matters in American YouTubes. Now, in these cases, that would be here earthquake energies calculation would be 10 to the power. Bracket of 10 to the power. Bracket of 1.5 multiplied by 7.7 double bracket close, and here we can see that is almost 384.9 billion joules. Okay, now here the entire earthquake energy can be divided by bracket of 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of artificial earthquake chemicals with the temperature of triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius. And now let's check it what's going on. And here we can see that's the moments. That is almost 3.33 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 662 kilograms of artificial earthquake chemicals with the temperature of triple six multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius, when the specific heat would be 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And in these cases, that is discussion on in the geopolitical moments that can be discussed in here American social media. If and only if audience would not report against the video or live stream to discuss about artificial earthquake terrorism in India by Bangladeshi terrorists. And now, in these cases, American social media allows the geopolitical discussions about when geopolitical discussions can be Indians, geopolitical discussions can be Pakistan, and even geopolitical discussion can be related in Afghanistan. But what about the moments? What about BricsTube.com? In that cases, in this points here, BricsTube.com can this content creators of BricsTube.coms can discuss the reason of earthquake in India with the magnitude of 7.7, and here their content would be like that. Well, it, it was possible only because here um, in 2025 here somehow Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi becomes pro-Israel. Hence, here earthquake with a magnitude of 7.7 is here God gripped us, and that is the discussion in that is the point of discussions in here BricsTube.com. And now, well, what is the geopolitical contents can be prohibited in BricsTube.com? In that cases, the following geopolitical contents can be prohibited in BricsTube.com. That here Bangladeshi terrorists can conduct an artificial earthquake terrorist attack on India with the magnitude of 7.7 as an artificial earthquake magnitude with the support of 4 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 662 kilograms of artificial earthquake chemical with the below temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, when here specific heat would be 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. This level of scientific geopolitical discussion is prohibited in where the prohibited in here on BricsTube.com, where BricsTube.com is here a social media of controlled by 5 countries, where following 5 countries is left-wing Brazilians, communist Russians, liberal Indians, communist Chinese, and black supremacist South Africa. And now here we can see now when we are secret scientific countries can be Russian, Chinese, and India, but the and here left-wing scientific temperance would be lack in Brussels. And now the rest is South Africa, where scientific temperament is absent in South Africa because of black supremacy. And now in these cases, here is the points what's going on that moments. And in this case, now here I will discuss it. Okay. Now here I can change the roots. Well, now let's check it. What would be the roots? Because here the discussion points is about the Bangladeshi terrorist private jets. And now let's check it. Where departure is Borishal, the city of Bangladesh. Okay. Now here we can see the points. The first middle route is Caracas, the city of where the Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela. And now in this cases, here is the travel trams at the points. Okay. Now second middle route is what is the second middle route? That would be Barcelona, the city of Catalunya provincial state of Spain. And the third middle route is here Cape Town, the city of South Africa. And the next point is middle route is Bandar Abbas, the city of Hormozgan provincial state of Iran, and the final destination is Chennai, the city of Tamil Nadu provincial state of India. And now let's check it the moments. What is the flying distance? That would be here 42,430 kilometers, 380 meters. That as a round figure, that would be at 430. I apologize, 43,000 kilometers. And now here is the moments. Now in this cases, here we can see it can be now. What is 43 multiplied by 4? That is 3 multiplied by 4 is 12, and 4 multiplied by 4, I mean 4 square is 16. That means here 43 multiplied by 4 is 172. And now here calculation is just points. Okay. Now what about the moments? 43 multiplied by 6. Now 3 multiplied by 6 is almost 18, and 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. 4 sum by 1 is 5. That means, well, here you can see 43,000 multiplied by 6 is 258. Okay. Now here is the momentum at the points. And now let's concentrate here. We can see the Bangladeshi terrorist private planes velocity is 258,000 kilometer per second. Now what is the meaning of 258,000 kilometer per second? And in this cases, well, now what is here 4, now we can what is 43 multiplied by 2, that is 86. That means it is always 86% of velocity of light, because we know that the velocity of light is 300,000 kilometer per second. And now in this here we can say now we have calculated here the meanings of Bangladeshi terrorist private plane to be the velocity to be here 258,000 kilometer per second. But now here is the moments, that is a significant discussions, that here what will be the points meaning of 258,000 kilometer per second when the flying distance would be 43,000 kilometers. Now in this cases, now here we can see, okay, now previously we have discussed that 43 multiplied by 6 is 258. That means here we can say the points. What is 1? Now let's calculate what is 1 divided by 6. Okay. Now 1 divided by 6. In this cases 1 divided by 6 is 0.167 seconds. And now here flying timing would be 0.167 seconds. That means when the departure time is morning 6 o'clock, August 12, 2026, and arrival time would be here morning 6 o'clock, 0.167 second past, August 12, 2026. Now in this cases, now in real times, that what was the earthquake moments in this cases. Now let's check at the moments and the points. Let's check at the earthquake periods. That would be March 28, 2025. Okay, that means here we can see the points. Departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, March 28, 2025, from Barisal, the city of Bangladesh, and here arrival time to be here morning 6 o'clock, 0.167 second past, Well, March 28, 2025, when who is the uh, conductors of the terrorism, artificial earthquake terrorism in India, that is some other Bangladeshi governmental persons. Now here would be the person would be here Sayyada Rizana Hassan, because the calendar was okay. Say okay. Sayyada Rizana Hassan, because the calendar was 2025 when the artificial earthquake is here magnitude was 7.7 and the prayers. Now in these cases, well, and the assistance of the Bangladeshi terrorist Sayyada Rizana Hassan is well Tasnim Jara. Okay. Now name Jara. Okay. Now here we contest the two Bangladeshi terrorists. One is Tasnim Jara and the second is here Sayyada Rejwana Hassan. Because the calendar was 2025 and here earthquake on India with the magnitude was 7.7. And now let's check at the moments. Now what is the comment points? And in these cases, well, and here we have discussed velocity, we have discussed travel terms, and now in these points, let's discuss about the well kinetic energies. Now in these cases, we know here the meaning of 258,000 kilometer per second says almost 86% of velocity of lights. Hence, here kinetic energies would be calculated as an Albert Einsteinian kinetic powers. And now, in this case, the moments, this discussion is possible in only in the American social media, like YouTube, where it is the possible these levels of geopolitical physics is prohibited in BricsTube.com, where BricsTube is the alternate of YouTube controlled by Russia, Brazil, India, China and South Africa. Now here you can see that Brazil and India is left-wing countries, while South Africa is black supremacist and Russia and China is a communist country. And that is the main reason that why the BricsTube.com is the dangerous for the internet transparency. Okay, now let's check at the moments. Now here we can see, let's calculate the kinetic force. Now we can see here we know that what is the 0.86 square, that is 0.93 average, that is 0.7396. Now here we can see this point, so we have to calculate the value of lambda subtract by 1. Now let's take the find self. So what is the value of lambdas? And we can see here the value of lambda, we can notify that would be always. Well, now let's check the point. So the value of lambda is 1 divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by 0.7396 enter time bracket close. Well, now that is the value of lambda, that is well 1.95966. Okay, is the value of lambda. Now what is the value of lambda subtract by 1? That would be here 0.95966. Okay, now in these cases, now here is the moments of calculation at the points. Well, now we can see this points to notice. Well, now we can check the calculations. 0.95966 is the value of lambda subtracted by 1s. But now what is the flying statistic energies of Bangladeshi terrorist private planes? Now here complete weight of Bangladeshi terrorist private planes would be here. One private plane complete weight would be 200,000 kilograms. As what would be the statistic energy? That would be here 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Because here the velocity of light is 300,000 km per second. That means 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Hence the velocity of light square is 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 meter square per second square. Now what is here we can see those points. Well, what is 16 sum by 5, that is 21. And what is here 2 multiplied by 9, that is 18. Hence the kinetic energy, I have guessed that, hence the statistic energy of, well, what is the moment? Hence the statistic energy of India Bangladeshi terrorist private plane to conduct an artificial earthquake terrorism on in Chennai, the city of Tamil Nadu, provincial state of India, with the magnitude of 7.7. Here the private plane's travel statistic energy would be 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 joules. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is the kinetic energies at the moment? Okay, here we can see the points. Well, calculation would be like this: 0.95966 multiplied by 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 joules. And now let's check at the points. What is the significant kinetic energetic moments? Okay, now here we can see the points. Well, 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 can be multiplied by 0.95966, and here that would be here almost 17.274 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 joules. And now let's check at the moments. Now here we can see it is the kinetic energies, but now let's check is what is the kinetic power. In that case, kinetic power is kinetic energy divided by travel time. Now we know the travel time is 0.167 seconds, but what is 1 divided by 0.167 seconds? That is almost 6 second inverse 1. And now here you can see the calculation is that here 17,000, I have guessed 17.274 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 joule can be multiplied by 6 7 inverse 1. And now let's check it. What is the result at the moment? Well, 17.274 that can be multiplied by 10 to the power 21, and here that can be divided by, the kinetic energies can be multiplied by 6 second inverse 1. And now here the result is the points. Wow. In this cases, the Bangladeshi terrorist private plane's kinetic power is 103.644 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 watts in the purpose to contact and artificial earthquake terrorism with the magnitude of 7.7. And now in this cases, here we can see the points. These levels of geopolitical physics, geopolitical science would be discussed by only and only here American social medias. But what about the Russian social medias? I mean the BricsTube.coms to be the social media controlled by five countries to be Russia, China, Brazil, India and South Africa. In that cases, here we go. The geopolitical scientific discussion is would be like that. Uh, Promoted content would be here natural earthquake on in India with the magnitude of 7.7 was the possible in 2025 because and only because um, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the pro-Israeli and anti-Palestinians. And here we can hence the natural earthquake in India with a magnitude of 7.7 was only possible. But here signs of Bangladeshi terrorist private planes to attacks on India with the artificial earthquake magnitude to be 7.7, the geopolitical contents would be prohibited in BRICSTube.coms. That would be here social media to be controlled by Russia, China, South Africa, Brazil and India. That is not in the script of whom? That is not in the script of Karolina Goswami. And now, when today's era is geopolitical information war era, and in these cases, Karolina, what is the definition of feminism? The definition of feminism is here to support the anti-national movement in the topic of the geopolitics. And what is the definition of misogyny? Here the definition of misogyny is to support the nationalist movements in here geopolitics. And in these cases, well, accordance with the statement of Karolina Goswami, here BRICSTube.coms controlled by Russia, China, India, Brazil, South Africa can be transparent social media and where American social media YouTube is mysterious accordance with whom the mysterious accordance with Karolina Goswami is in YouTube Israel contents. And now that is the hypocrisy of Karolina Goswami at the peak moments. But reality is that that is the significant reality is that Karolina Goswami did not know, I mean here Karolina Goswami did not want to let you know the here artificial earthquake terrorism contact by Bangladeshi terrorists on India can be discussed only and only in American social media in lieu of BRICSTube.com, the social media controlled by five countries to be Russia, China, India, South Africa and Brazil. And now in these cases, that is their significant issues at the moment. Okay, now here we can see, let's check at the points. And here we are to contents and slips. And in these cases, here we can see the significant moments. Bangladeshi terrorists would be attacks on conducts and attacks on India. And here we can see the points. It is the first point about the Indians. The second point is when the today's topic is earthquake on social media. In that cases, here we go. Now, Bangladesh contents here Rupur nuclear electricity centers. Now, here we can see the points. With the presence of Rupur nuclear electricity power plant centers in Bangladesh, here Bangladeshi contains almost 8 hour electricity crisis or 4 hours electricity crisis. Then what is the meaning of that? That can be mysterious in and only in social media to be controlled by Russia, China, Brazil, South Africa and India, but that can be clearly discussed in and only in American social media if and only if any Bangladeshi terrorist would report would not report on the live stream or video to discuss here the mystery of Bangladeshi electricity crisis for 5 hours and with the presence of Rupur nuclear electricity centers to be the security concerns both of India, uh, Afghanistan, Russia and here Saudi Arabia and Israel. Okay, now that is the significant points that can be notified. Well. Here we can see, but here is my counter to the Karolina Goswami in the topics of the India. Now in this cases, it is here part 0, there would be the several parts or it would be the earthquake on social media. And now when the topic is about the our next point is what would be the dangerous moments about the points hence that Bangladeshi terrorists can be attempts on Jantar Mantar protest to stay against the central governmental educational minister Dharmendra Pradhan's or here we can see anti-Hindu CJB protests can be arranged by Bangladeshi terrorists with the support of the fuel to be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And here we can see this level of social media can be discussed by in and only in American social media until any left-wing Indians or Bangladeshi terrorists would report on the live stream or videos. And now it is the geopolitical counter to Karolina Goswami. See you then. Khuda Hafiz, love you. And now